All right,
Whatever day you want to be, Mikey.
We're
All
here.
right. Hello. Yes. All right. Let's hop into it, Mike. You texted me the other day lamenting the fact that the Knicks are so close but no cigar as a team.
Well, it feels that way. It feels like they could beat everybody else except the top 3 teams in the league.
Yeah.
They can't beat Boston. They can't beat Cleveland. Can't beat the Thunder. And that leaves them at number 4. So they're not only they're losing, they're getting killed by like 20 points.
It's embarrassing. Like, I feel like every time they go to play against the Celtics, I'm like, this is going to be the time they finally take them down. And then they lose by like 40 points.
No. You think they would have learned
every time.
By now. Yeah. And they still got to play Cleveland like 2-3 more times. So it's hopefully they'll get all the kinks out of them during the season. So when they get to the playoffs, they'll be ready. But it's not voting well.
Feels like the perpetual cycle that the Knicks are in. They're always a playoff team, but they're always a first round exit team. I really do feel that way. It feels like we're in this constant loop.
They just can't get past. Like, this goes back to when they were playing the Bulls, and they couldn't get past the Bulls, except the one year Jordan wasn't playing. And it's like they just can't get past the best teams. They need a Giannis. They need an I don't know, whatever the highest ranking is, an A-list
superstar. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like Brunson and Cat are great, but like they need somebody a step above them, is what I'm trying to say.
And they're fun to watch too. This team is genuinely fun. And I'll admit, I'm only a casual when it comes to basketball, but the times I have watched a game this year, it's fun. Cat scores at will. He's amazing. He's so fun to watch, man.
Some of the games I watch, it's like they're beating teams, but like they're going to overtime and they're winning by 2 points, or they blew the lead and then they come back and they win. And it's like, you should be blowing teams out if you're going to be a championship team, So
they're just not quite there yet. I mean, they're a team, and like you said, they got to work the kinks out. But
they got injuries.
They're always close. This team, I always feel as if they're always 1 or 2 pieces shy of being there. And this goes back to the days when like Stoudemire played for the team. Like they brought him in.
Yeah.
To try to get better, and then they bring in Melo years later. They always bring in these guys.
It didn't work.
And it just doesn't work out. It's not lack of trying, I'll tell you. For all the crap that Dolan gets, and most of it's deserved.
Yeah.
The names on this team suggest that this team should be better. And again, a top 4 team in the conference is nothing to scoff at, but you don't play to be top 4. You play to be top 1.
Yeah. Well, I go back to the 90s Knicks with Ewing and Starks and Oakley. And like back then, I know this sounds like get off my lawn, but back then they actually played in the paint. And now they just jock up threes, and it's like, why is Jalen Brunson running in and just throwing a floater, and it's just going nowhere? Like, there's no play set up like there used to be when they get in the paint. They throw.
We talked about this last week about how people who are longtime fans of the sport find it boring because it really is just 3-point contests every night. There's very few guys that will drive like that and try to push guys out of the way and get near the basket and get that easy basket to lay up.
It's fast and loose, and it's not the same. It's not, there's no game in the paint.
There's not enough face punches, Mike. That's the problem.
We don't have any videos to look at.
No, I mean, hey, that's what this channel was founded upon, was not the proudest moments of guys' career.
Right. That's
all
what
right.
we do.
So what else we got to talk about here?
I did want to
news. Oh, sorry.
Well, quickly, I wanted to mention, and this goes with baseball too. So I don't know if you remember this guy, but Al Trautwig, who's the Yankees, he worked on MSG, did the Yankees, he did the Knicks, he did the Rangers. He was like the sideline reporter. He just passed away today. So he was, I guess, 70 or something like that, 69 or something.
Nice. And I know it's a death, but you have to get the nice in there. Okay.
69, yeah. So, but he just, I don't know what happened. It was weird. Like when he got let go, I was reading about it because he just like disappeared off of MSG now. He's like Mr. MSG. He was like the face of MSG for like 30 years. And then all of a sudden he wasn't on anymore. In like 2019, I was reading like he had a health issue. My friend was saying something happened with him during a game where he was like slurring his words and he didn't finish the game. So they thought he left because of a health issue, but apparently he said he was fine 2 weeks later. But they never renewed his contract. So I don't know. Did he have a stroke or something? Like, nobody knows what happened to him. And sadly, he passed away. But he was the guy. He was the voice you heard every Knicks, Rangers, and Yankee game when you put on MSG. So he will be missed, Mr. Al Trautwig.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So R.I.P. Yes, R.I.P. to that.
Yeah.
So we could talk a little baseball, I guess, for just a quick minute. There's injuries abound because it is spring training. There is, quote unquote, I just saw this a minute ago, no timetable for Giancarlo Stanton to return. And then also on the Mets side, Sean Manaea got hurt. He pulled an oblique, and that's scary as hell because dude, how many obliques have we seen where as soon as you hear the O word, you know that person's out for like 3 months? It's just that's scary.
Do you know the comic Joe Pontillo? Guy
of course,
from Long Island?
yeah.
Yeah, Joe's great. So he tweeted something out. I have to give him all the credit because he tweeted this because yesterday I saw this. Manaea was talking with Johan Santana on advice. So Joe puts one day with Johan Santana, and he hurts an oblique. So can you imagine if Johan was like showing him something and Manaea tried it and he goes, "Hey, well, it hurt Johan. It hurt me too."
Doesn't Johan have the last no-hitter the Mets still have in their history or something like that?
The only no-hitter. And
it's the only no-hitter.
Did they have another one since then?
I feel like they must have had somebody. Must have had somebody. So was
Well,
it the only one ever at Citi Field, or was it the only one ever, or was it the only one?
It was the first one ever for the Mets in Mets history, which is amazing.
Okay.
They've been around since the 60s. So
yeah, but
this was before replay, and there was actually a ball that was supposed to be fair, and it was called foul. If you watch the replay, it bounces fair. So, if you listen to like WFN, the radio, they're always teasing Evans, saying, it was a one-hitter technically. And he's like, no, it was called foul, so it's a foul ball. So, even when the Mets get something, it just never.
Yeah, I mean, at the same, I'll give it. Yeah, because I'm the guy who, if you're a real fan of the sport, you remember that kid Galarraga from Detroit that got fucked out of not only a no-hitter but a perfect game by a blown call.
It was a perfect game.
I count that as a perfect game, and real fans of the sport do count that.
Yeah.
So if you're going to go by the letter of the replay, then yeah, you do kind of have to take it away from him. But I don't want to take it away from the Mets. I don't. However, I will say this: their starting pitching was already thin. And an oblique injury, because now that means, remember, you don't get to do a spring training as a pitcher. And an oblique injury, that's going to be a while. So he's probably not going to be able to do anything for at least, let's say, a month and a half. That means he has to rev up.
June. Yeah.
They'll be lucky to have him back in full form by June or so. And it's scary, man. And look, the Mets lineup looks pretty decent, with Soto and Alonso back now. But that rotation does not look deep. I'm sorry, man. They're going to have to make a bunch of deadline moves or a bunch of like emergency end of spring training signings like right now if they really want to finish above fourth place in that division.
And they got a pitcher, but they got Clay Holmes from the Yankees, and they're trying to make him a starter. So it's like they didn't go after any other starters. So
good for him, but what did we learn about Clay Holmes in the playoffs last year? After the second and the third time that hitters get to see him, he gets lit up.
Yeah.
And so what is he going to be, like a Phil Hughes kind of guy where the third time through batters are hitting 370 off him or whatever it was? No shade at Phil Hughes. I love Phil Hughes, by the way.
Yeah.
I've met him a few times. Very nice guy and a good chipper.
Yeah. And but that's not, and I think I remember Susan Waldman saying last year during the playoffs that like Clay Holmes, he just needs to just keep pitching what is his pitch?
Slider.
It's a slider, yeah. So just keep pitching the slider. Like he just didn't seem to have his confidence, and he wouldn't go to the slider, I guess. So she was like, "Just pitch your slider. Just do it. It'll work." And I don't know. I don't know if Susan Waldman. I respect her opinion, but she's never pitched. So she like in a game. It sounds like I'm bashing Susan Waldman, but I'm really not.
Yeah. Why do you hate female announcers?
Yeah,
Mike?
I know. I hate female announcers. I love Susan Waldman. To be frankly honest,
dude, she's great.
I want to meet her so bad.
Yeah, I would love to because her story is so cool. Like her story is something that you could make a feel good movie out of because you listen to what she went through in the 70s and the 80s, being a woman trying to do sports talk radio, and you hear the stories of she signed up for all these things and they gave her the worst shifts, made her the overnight and all this stuff, and she scratched and clawed and finally made it to the point where she was the first female to ever do a World Series game, which is pretty cool.
She was a Broadway singer too, I think, because she'll do like the national anthem. Yeah, she's like a trained professional.
She's a talented
singer.
lady. No, Susan Waldman fucking rules, man, and she's
stood
kind
up
of
for the boss. Yeah, she's great.
Her and I'm excited about the Dave Sims. A lot of people aren't, but that's because they don't listen to the whole league's radio like I do. And I'm telling you, that guy's got a killer voice. And also, speaking to Susan, this is what reminded me of it. He knows Susan personally. They like hang out and go to restaurants and shit in the off season. Yeah. He lives in New York, so like they're gonna have a rapport right away. So this is gonna be, look. John Sterling was a legend, but he didn't want to do it anymore because he's 83, I think. Yeah. Dave Sims is gonna rule for the next number of years. It's gonna be great.
I'm excited for him.
I'm genuinely pumped that we got him. And again, no shade at the not again, but the guys who were the sort of variety pack of announcers we got last year. I liked Shackle, Emmanuel, and there are a few others. Ricardo. I love Ricardo.
Ricky Ricardo is great. Like I need to learn Spanish so I can listen to his broadcast. I'm sorry I don't know it.
And so
he's fantastic.
Those guys were all great. Every single one of those guys rocked it. And they could have gone in-house, but they went and got Dave Sims, and I'm happy that way. I hope we still get to see like a little bit of the variety pack where, you hear a road series where they send Emmanuel or somebody else out just to kind of mix it up. I like the mixing it up. I at first it was weird not hearing John, but then I got used to it and I kind of liked it. I'm like, oh, who are we going to get tonight? Like it is, I liked it. So
throw Keith on there.
Gonna be awesome. Yeah. Oh, they even did a game with Craig Carton last year.
The Carton games are fun. I listened to those. Those were fun.
Those were a good time. It
was like us doing the game. It was like
it was like literally a half notch up from just me taking 2 shots of tequila and sitting in the booth next to but he's got fun about it. They were like summertime games, like they were not meaningful games. So it was just a good time, Yeah,
he's got broadcast experience from early in his career. I mean, he went to Syracuse, so he knows what he's doing.
He's got a good voice and all that. Anyway, enough filleting the radio crew for the Yankee games. We've got some spring training hats to go over, and I think you have a couple videos to go over. I love your hat, and there's also the other one. The Yankees are the only team that has 2 this year, right?
2, yeah.
All right, so let's go through them.
Yeah, so I'll bring it up. So here are the hats.
These are all 30.
These are, I think these are all of them. There was I always pull pictures from sportslogo.net, but they didn't have the Pirates one yet. They had everything else because they had the 2 Yankee hats, but I went with this one because you have every team.
Well, this is the Pirates one right there next to the Phillies and the Padres.
They got this is all 30 teams. Yeah. So I really like the Washington Nationals hat because it looks like the old school Senators hat.
So do you have like other slides, or we're just going to do it all one at a time?
I only have three slides.
Okay.
We'll go through. I mean, the ones in here I think are really. I mean, there's a lot of good ones. Orioles is cool. A's is cool. Braves, Diamondbacks. I'm just looking. Mariners is always cool.
All right, let's go through. Yeah. Let's just go through them in order. All right, Mike. The Braves one, I like it. A little bit generic, but it's clean. It's fine.
Yeah, good color.
I give it a mid. It's fine. The Diamondbacks, that's a super loud ass color. I know that teal's like their unofficial 3rd or 4th color.
Right.
And spring training is the kind of the time of year to do that. I don't love that as a full hat, but I do like their biting the ball logo. It's okay. Yeah. The A's one is dope as fuck. Dude. Yeah. When they wear those bright ass yellow uniforms, I've always thought it was cool. Some people think it's offensive. I think it's fun. I think it's loud. So those are some dope hats, man.
Yeah, it's like the reminds me of the 7, like Reggie Jackson when he was on the A's, Catfish Hunter before he became a Yankee. Raleigh Fingers. The O's is cool. The reverse
it's
color.
Like the Braves one, it's generic. They went the safe route. Boston always same thing.
Classic look. Yeah.
I would say of the Boston caps available, this is probably my least favorite one because Boston, dude, the Red Sox fans. Here's the thing, man, and we always we're Yankee fans. We can't blow them that much, but the Red Sox have always had some killer alt uniforms and some killer alt colors. Like they have their St. Patrick's Day green ones that are dope.
Yeah.
They have the dark blue ones, the classic ones. I think are probably the best. I don't love this white logo one. It's fine.
It's very old school. Yeah. I mean, the Red Sox have an old school. They're one of the oldest teams. They have an old school look.
And they have the hanging sock logo too, which I also think is really cool.
Yeah.
What's that other one?
The Cubs.
Oh yeah.
It's all right. I mean, if you're a Cubs fan,
it's Detroit Lions colors, okay?
Yeah.
I kind of don't like that. I don't know.
It's all right. I mean, I'm sure Cubs fans love it, but like as on its own, the light blue.
It's very meh. The Reds hat is just their regular hat.
Yeah.
I don't really know what they were going for. Same thing with the Guardians. It's just their regular hat, and the Rockies.
Yeah. The Guardians, their hat in person, I forget if it was just that, but in navy blue, or if it was like I think it was a Cleveland. No, it was the new C for Cleveland.
Yeah, the block.
Looks really cool in person. For some reason on TV it doesn't look as good as it does in person.
Oh, dude, I got to go to a Guardians game in Cleveland a few years ago. Yeah. My girlfriend and I went, and it was cool, man. It was that stadium has outdoor concourses. So like when you walk around outdoors and that stadium, you get a crazy view of like the city and like the surrounding towns and all the bridges out there. Cleveland's an underrated place, I'll tell you. Anyway, Rockies won boring. The White Sox won. This one is awesome.
You like that?
I think it's cool because it's clean and it's all like, isn't this the kind of thing that when you walk into like a party or a nightclub, you can see some brother wearing with the flat brim? Like it's a dope
brother. Hey brother.
it's a dope ass hat. I like that. I like that the black on the white instead of the white on black. It's the inverse of the normal. I think it's cool.
Or gray or whatever. Yeah, it looks like I have a gray Yankee hat, and it's the Yankee NY in white. So it's the gray's cool. I mean I guess it's all right. The Tigers, I like the Tiger. I don't know. It's just the orange is
that logo would pop better on a black hat.
Yeah, I have a navy blue Tigers hat
or a navy blue. Yeah, it has to. So when you go light on light, it doesn't really. That's kind of why I don't like that Cubs one. It doesn't really. It's kind of weird. Astros, they went the safe route. It's fine. It's boring, but it'll get the job done. Whatever. The Royals one, I think, is kind of. I have the same problem with that as I do with the Cubs one. It's sky blue with a very light logo on the front of it. So like, they should have gone with a dark navy KC logo. That would have popped a lot harder on that. That's a missed opportunity. Angels went with a regular hat, boring. Dodgers have that sort of cursive D.
It's all right.
My question, you're more of a historian than I am. Is that an old school logo, or is that like a new logo meant to look old school?
I think it's the D on there, the same D on their uniform. Just D for Dodger. I mean, if you look at their history hats, they had all the Brooklyn hats when they were in Brooklyn, and then the LA logo's been the same. So I think that's just the D on Dodgers on their uniform. So it's got it looks like a baseball hat. It's got a retro look.
It's cool. It's got a classic look to it.
Yeah.
The Marlins one is cool. I like this because again, you have the dark logo on the light background. It pops.
Yeah, pops.
It's a cool hat. If I was a dude in Miami, I would totally buy that hat. Yeah. Brewers one, same thing. It's cool.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
This one, I feel like if they would have gone with the yellow on the brim, made the whole thing yellow, it would have popped even harder. But I still like it. I still think it's cool.
San Diego.
What is the M1?
It's the Twins. It's their stupid rebrand from last year. It's so bad. It looks like Montreal.
It's supposed to be Minneapolis.
It's Minnesota. M for Minnesota.
Oh, Minnesota. Okay, yeah. I always think of them as because they wear the TC logo usually, the Twin Cities. Yeah, this is bad. This is probably the worst.
Rebrand.
Probably the worst one of the bunch we've seen.
Yeah.
The Mets one is fucking awesome. Let's say that.
Great.
Let's give props to the Crosstown dudes. That is a cool. Yeah, that is cool. The sunglasses.
Like English, top of the list. Yankees. Yeah, go ahead.
It's very cool. That's all I'm going to say. I hope they sell these at the stadium, and I hope that there's a dark version of the hat because I think that logo would pop well on the that blue that the Mets use.
Yeah.
That being said, this is cool. I love it.
Yeah. Yankees and Mets, obviously, they have the best two. Out of
the Yankees one,
even if we're being biased, I don't care.
The Yankees one is killer because the Yankees one, if you're somebody who likes like fashion and style and being loud, like it's the hat you're wearing, it's a cool hat on its own.
Right.
It doesn't need a uniform. It doesn't need more explanation. It's cool. It's kind of different. Very cool. The Phillies one, I think they've used this one before. I don't hate it. I don't love it, but I think it's cool.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna hate. Pirates one is dope. I love the logo with the the crossbones and the Jolly Roger and all that.
Right.
Very cool.
Padres
is just regular. It's the regular one.
Yeah. Mariners is cool. It's a good color. It pops.
It's fine. I just wish that again. It's a light logo on a light hat. That's why I don't love it. It's not bad though. If you're playing in Arizona, you want a light colored hat anyway. I'm not hating. Giants is just a regular. That's like the regular colors. Same with the Cardinals. They're kind of just. They want the safe route. Nothing wrong with that. But
plain,
the Rays one, I think, is kind of lame. Sorry,
kind of boring.
Yeah, I want to see them go back to more of their old school. I like that weird teal they used in the 90s with the Devil Rays. If they would go with this hat with a teal instead of a baby blue, I think it would go a little better. Rangers, I know that they have the powder uniforms. I added them a few years ago, and I know that's what.
Yeah.
Again, if I was a Rangers fan, I would maybe buy that. It's not terrible, but it's not great. Yeah. If you're a fan of the team, I feel like you'd still go for the classic darker blue one better, though, right?
I guess so. Yeah. It's just I don't know. The Blue Jays now. So the Blue Jays snuck in some light blue on the brim and in the button on the top, but it's pretty much their regular hat.
Yeah, it's a classic hat, though. I'm not hating.
Yeah.
Again, it's fine. It's the safe route. And then last but not least, you got the Nationals.
I like that. Yeah, it's like Walter Johnson, Washington Senators way back before they became the Twins, old days.
It's cool. My issue with it though is that unless you're a fan of the sport and you really know what you're talking about, it's kind of like the Cubs one and the Twins one and a couple of the other ones. You wouldn't know what team that is.
Right.
And it's also a dark logo on a dark hat. Why can't you just make the hat rather than just like the stroke around the outside of the W? Why can't the whole W be a bright white or a bright red? Anyway, it's okay. It's not my favorite on here. It's probably towards the bottom for me. Like, we're not going to rank them. But yeah, a few of them really pop. Again, the Mets one is solid. The Mets and A's are probably my two favorite on here. Yankees, of course. And then, there's a few others that are good.
Yeah.
But the
Yankees got the away.
Both those are sick fucking hats, dude.
I've seen two different hats. So
one of these years I'm gonna go to spring training. Every year I turn on the TV and I just see all these people sitting out there picnic blankets and it's 75 degrees outside and the sun is shining and I'm like walking to work and it's like snowing outside. And I'm like, I want to go to spring training. I want to go to spring training.
I know. Yeah. You see in the back the pinstripe kind of just intersects, and the material on this, it's a very different material. It's almost like I don't know how to explain it. What does it say? It's 100% polyester, but it doesn't feel like it's almost like I don't know if it'll pick it up. You see how it's very grooved and looks like a Triscuit. It's got a weird kind of texture, almost like not a seatbelt texture, but like when you see it, it doesn't feel like the regular. It doesn't feel like the regular hat. It's got like a completely different texture.
Is there like a stretch to it or anything? Or like, does it feel like it's waterproof? Like, what's the benefit of that? I don't understand.
It actually does feel like it would be waterproof. I don't know. It almost feels like it's made of not cotton, like a plastic cloth. Like it's got a weird. You have to feel.
Is it lighter? Is it lighter than a normal hat?
No, it's
like weight-wise
the same. The problem is new era. So I wear 7 1/4. No 2 7 1/4 hats fit the same. So if I pull this down, it's tight. But if I wear this one, this is just Giants and Rangers colors.
I'm the same exact way. I have I bought a Hartford because I'm from Connecticut. I bought a Hartford Yard Goats fitted hat, and it's tight as fuck on me. But then I bought the same size for a different minor league team, and it fits snug and perfect. And it sucks, man. The hats are never consistent. All right, is there one more slide to go over here?
The Mets one.
Dude, that is so dope. I'm not a Mets fan, but I hope I see some of these in the city this year. I hope they incorporate this logo as like an all on their like actual game day uniforms. I think it's so dope. The smiling
patch on the shoulder.
Mr. Met looks okay. In this picture, Mr. Met looks kind of high. Okay, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
He's looking at the reflection of the dirt. That's what it looks like in the sunglasses.
Well, no, he looks like because his eyes are bloodshot. He put his sunglasses on. He's hungover, is what he is. Okay, he partied hard last night, and he's sitting on his back porch smoking a J, getting ready to go where he has to go. It's a Saturday morning. Mr. Met he's partying. He's partying hard, and I'm into it.
He went out with the '86 Mets, and then that's him the next morning. And little subtle meaning in that. So.
I hope that someone makes a custom Photoshop of Mr. Met with like a joint in his hand or something. It would be that exact face that's on that hat. Would be that.
I'm surprised they didn't put Mrs. Met on the hat. I'm sure they got Mrs. Met hats too for the fans. You know, that would be smart to sell.
That would be very smart to sell.
Yeah, why not? You know, so I'm sure plenty of the ladies, and I'm sure even the guys would probably buy one. I don't know, you know, but
no, man, I'm not wearing that.
Yeah, you're a chick in my hat.
I'm wearing a chick hat, bro. It's for girls.
So, but yeah, those are the hats.
Still a dope hat. You know, still a dope. That is a cool hat.
It's fun. One day I should just do my hat collection. We'll rank all my hats because I'm
a lot.
hat addict,
Old school,
and I've thrown some away over
logo.
the years. You know,
did you ever buy the Seinfeld one yet?
No, I don't. What do we got? I got 2 more here. These are barely more.
I need you to own.
This is even half of the hats I own.
When's your birthday? I'll get it for your birthday or something. I need
August 21st.
I need you to own the Seinfeld Yankees hat because you're the exact kind of guy that needs to be wearing that every now and then.
Well, I always wear the fitted because as a kid I used to wear the adjustable because that's all I can afford. You get it from Kmart or Walmart.
Yeah,
I used to get picked on. You gotta get the fitted. You're not cool. So I started wearing nothing but fitteds, and then adjustable hats came back, and I refused to wear them. I'm like, no. I spent all this time and money trying to be cool. I'm not going back to the way I used to do it. So, but I'm sure I'll cave at some point and buy cool hat. I just don't buy the snapbacks anymore. I don't know. A lot of trauma.
Snapbacks are for poor people. We can agree on that. You have to get the cloth one with like the adjustable where you pull it and you clamp the thing down. That's what you have to get.
That's just, I know. I like the regular new era. You know, it's almost like the front feels like because they have the inner lining is like hard. So
yeah,
this is new era. This is the way to go.
I'm just not a baseball cap guy, really. But if I was gonna be, I would wear something a little. I'd wear like a minor league hat. I'd wear something weird. I wouldn't go with a normal team. That's just me. That's just me being a weirdo. All right. So do we have any videos to go over to close the show out tonight, or are we just?
Well, we got videos. We got videos. So
okay, we got how many we got?
We got 4.
Oh boy, this is gonna be a long. Okay, we might not have time for all 4, but let's.
We'll get them in. Let's do because we were talking about the Knicks, talking about basketball. I saw this Charles Barkley one the other day. I wanted to show it, so let's play this one.
Let's go.
Throwing bows to the jaw, to the nose. That paycheck, but the rest give me text. I bump and I bruise in the black Nike shoes. No cause for alarm and not thumping on. No cause for alarm when Charles thumping on third child. Don't be no harm. That's the fun. Hey boys, when Charles started popping. They fool me, I spit and they sue me. I don't understand why they do this to me. The league they find, I get irate, taking eggs and steak, maybe turkey off my plate. Oh yeah. Come on. It's singing Vegas style musical hooks. It's what I love more than anything. Sing, pumping, bumping, A-bomb, dunking, donut dunking, and charm school flunking. Your pocket says it pays to be mean. Excuse me, but don't I have the cutest smile you ever seen?
So I'm assuming this is like late 80s, early 90s, somewhere in there, yeah?
90, 92, I think. So that was Chuck D rapping. It wasn't Charles Barkley. So it sounded like a Public Enemy produced song. I remember this commercial. I remember they spit and they sue me. I don't know why, because he got in trouble for spitting.
I was gonna ask. That specific line jumped out at me. Like, wait, did that actually happen? Is that a reference to a real life event that like actually happened at some point? That's pretty. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
People like we talk about Dennis Rodman and all those bad boys. Barkley was no joke. Like he threw somebody through a window, I think, one time in the office. Like if that happened now, he'd be banned for life.
He was in that big fight that we did on the show years ago with Bill Laimbeer when it was the Sixers versus the Pistons.
That's right.
He was one of the main guys getting ready to, well, not getting ready. He did throw down.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, no, he was no joke. But Barkley was only like 6'4". He wasn't as tall as the other guy. I mean, he's tall, but like, you know.
Of how only 6'4".
Only 6 in NBA terms is small.
This commercial is fun. I like this a lot just because it's funny. We're watching this as a classic ad, and this was shot and edited in black and white to look like a classic ad. So we're watching a classic ad of a like it's like a 2-layered kind of thing to look through. I think it's very cool. Yeah,
it's supposed to look like, to a degree, like what I was talking about the Super Bowl show, the old Broadway movie musicals, you know. That's what they went with. They even did. You see, there's the part where the plane is flying around the earth. That looked like the old right here. Or it's flying around the basketball. Universal, when they were doing Dracula and Frankenstein in the 30s, their logo was the Earth with a plane like that flew around. So they pretty much
okay. And wait, was that like the Ecto, like the Ghostbusters? Hold on, go back.
The same kind of car. Wait a minute. It's close. It's like an old ambulance.
Close.
Yeah, it's an old ambulance. Yeah, so I think the Ghostbusters.
I saw a flat top. I saw a flat top fly, but yeah, it's definitely the early 90s.
And the sneakers are cool. Yeah. So
this is fun. This is cool. I like this. This is fun with the old school, with the dancing and the black and white. I like that. All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got tonight?
Let's do. So this one, it's a Halloween commercial, but it's about the Mets and the Yankees. And
okay.
I just, it's just we'll throw it in here. Baseball.
Oh, how cuter!
Wow.
And what are you?
I'm a New York Yankee.
You sure you don't want to be a New York Met?
Nope. Go Yankees.
Can you believe this kid?
Secretly, I love the Yankees. Yeah.
Rivalries are tough. Saving money with Geico is easy. Geico, proud partner of MLB.
Yeah. I like that you brought this commercial out, Mike, just because I think there's going to be a lot of shit talking this year between Mets and Yankee fans.
Oh, yeah.
I think the Soto thing definitely ignited something.
Mm-hmm.
However, we've mentioned this earlier in the show. If the Mets pitching staff collapses like I think it's going to, there might not be much shit talking past about June or July. So we'll see. Yeah. We'll see what happens. But this is fun. This is a cute little ad with a guy who's just clearly disappointed in his lady for
his whole life
loving the Yankees.
His whole life just crashed around him here. In at the end,
dude, well, and that's the thing. That's why, like the girl I'm dating, like my girlfriend, she's neutral, and she goes to Yankee games with me, which is cool. She wears the Yankees hat. She's kind of into it, which is great. But like, if I meet a girl who's like a Red Sox fan or something, that's just like, it's a big red flag. It's a huge red flag. It says a lot about your personality.
Yeah. Just degrading society.
And that guy thought he had a keeper, and then he just gets shocked in this ad of like, oh no. He was contemplating divorce. You saw the look on him.
He was ready to go. He was ready to leave. So this one is interesting. This is an old TV promo for the Yankees back in the early 70s with the young Thurman Munson and a bunch of players. So let's look at this one.
I'm Thurman Munson. We're coming on.
I'm Roy White, and we're coming on.
I'm Fritz Peterson. We're coming on. I'm John Ellis, and we're coming on.
I'm Mel Stottlemyre. We're coming on.
I'm Bobby Mercer. We're coming on.
I'm Ralph Howe, and they better come on.
We're coming on. Are you coming out?
It sounded almost like Steinbrenner at the end. I don't know if he owned the team yet, but yeah. Thurman Munson without any facial hair,
So it's an ad. It's an ad to come to the game.
Come to the ballpark. Yeah, and they're all down in spring training, and I guess when they were interviewing him, because that was the old Fort Lauderdale Stadium. As you can tell by the background.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I didn't even know that.
There, yeah. So that old design, there was when they used to play in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, that's nowhere near Tampa either. That's crazy. Stadium, they moved all the way across the state like that.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you've ever driven from Fort Lauderdale to Tampa. That's not a short drive. That's like a 4-hour probably plus drive. That's far.
A little suggestive. We're coming on.
We're coming on.
Coming on. You coming out?
We're coming on your mom's tits.
Whoa, hey.
Whoa.
And the NY in the hat. So the NY now on the hat, like back, that's the NY they have behind home plate. If you look at the NY now, it's a little more cleaner.
It's a little, it's bold font back then and regular font now is the way to put it.
Right.
That's the way it is. Little thinner.
And you know about Fritz Peterson, right? On the Yankees, his whole story.
I was going to ask about him.
He did the wife swap with one of his teammates.
That's right. They did a documentary about that where they literally just traded.
And they lived happily ever after.
I wonder how the wives felt about that.
I guess they liked it. They were like, "Oh, thank God, I have enough of that guy." So, it sounds like something that would happen in high school. But
me and our buddy Nick, we always talked about trying to pitch a movie based on that. But then somebody made a documentary about it, so obviously we can't do it now.
he probably still could.
I mean, that would be no. You absolutely could not make like a biopic movie about that in the modern day. You think about the premise of that movie. It's like two broed out dudes pre the Me Too movement talking about wife swapping. No, that would not. And then actually, the only way you could do it, is if you wrote it like the same beats of a rom-com. You made it like a chick flick, but based around two guys trading wives. That's the only way you can pull that off.
Yeah, it would have to be.
It'd be very funny. It's like a Valentine's Day movie.
Yeah, what was the movie with Vince Vaughn and Jennifer Aniston, The Breakup? That was to me that was like a rom-com, but guys would like it too. So it had, you would have to make it like that. Like it would have to be for everybody as opposed to gearing it towards a female audience, I guess you would say.
That's what I'm saying. If you try to do it towards a female audience, like, no, listen to this great love story where these two guys trade wives. Same beats the rom-com where you have the grand romantic gesture, you have the part at the beginning where one of them is depressed. Like you have to do the whole. That'd be very funny, actually.
It's weird to see somebody wearing 23 in the Yankees, and it's not Mattingly,
and it's not Downey. It is. Yeah, it is always when we watch the old footage of the numbers that were pre-retirement.
Oh, I didn't show you his. I got his autograph when I went to that Yankee Fest.
Did you? Fest. Oh, that's dope.
I got his rookie card signed. I spoke to him for like a brief second. I said, you don't have a lot of time with them, and I said, hey, nice meeting you. And he was, he's very friendly. And I go, I didn't know what to say, and the whole time I'm thinking, like, what should I say to him? And I'm like, don't say that. And I ended up saying it anyway. And I said, I'm sorry to hear about Ricky Henderson, And he's like, oh man, that was just terrible. Yeah, he was like, you could tell like he was hurt when that happened. So like I was afraid to even mention that because I didn't want to upset him. But he was like, oh, thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. And, it was so quick, but I got his autograph. So that was cool.
That's dope.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Anyway.
What are we closing out?
We got one left. So this features, I want to point out right away, the actor in this commercial, he played Babe Ruth in The Sandlot, I believe. So it's a Yankees commercial. He's not playing Babe Ruth here, but just so you know in advance who this guy is. So let's take a look.
They say you don't really decide these sorts of things. It's just something you feel inside. That doesn't mean I approve of it. But he's my son. Well, I guess I should just love him for who he is. And for what he is.
See you, Dad.
Why couldn't he be more like his brother?
Bye, Father. I'm off to rehearsal.
Give him hell, son. That's my boy.
Jeter hits it into right.
That's pretty ballsy for whenever this came out. I mean,
well, no, because this was probably, I would imagine, 90s or 2000s.
Yeah.
Well, and I was actually, it's funny, I was just having a conversation with my lady the other day about this, about how every single movie, every single punchline back in the like early 2000s was just gay. Everything's gay. You're gay. He's gay. She's gay. I'm gay. We're all gay. You're gay. You like men. She likes women. And like, that's all this was this was just during that era where the word gay was a punchline for every fucking joke.
Yeah.
And obviously the homophobic, because undertones of like the little weird theater fairy son that this guy has.
Yeah, it's a stereotype, but I do like the fact that he's accepting of his son. I mean, you can go
in a weird way. It's a progressive ad. You're
right. That's
yeah, you're right. Like you make a good point.
Yeah, but it kind of go. I could see that it can go.
With the little jumping out the front door.
I would have loved to get Brian's take on this, but I wasn't expecting that.
We can definitely do this again when Brian's here.
But I was watching. I'm like, he's gonna come out as a Red Sox fan, But then with the whole ending, he's like, can he be like my other son? So yeah, it is a little progressive, but it also is a little insulting at the same time.
Yeah, it's definitely. But like the fact that he accepts his son, great. But the fact that
it was a stereotype.
The joke is still the fact that you're saying, like, I would rather have my son be a fairy theater kid than a Red Sox fan.
Right.
And so it's still kind of like, it's not in, it's obviously you couldn't make that commercial today. I'm sure in 2001 or whenever this was filmed, you could do that. It's, again, I laughed. I thought it was funny because I understood the joke.
Comedy.
And, and that kid, I'm sure, I wonder what that actor's doing nowadays. That the kid right there,
playing
the theater kid.
theater, I guess. He's talented.
That'd be great if he was an actual theater kid. It
He's
was like a
actually-
thing where he's like a
Broadway.
Broadway star now. See, that
Yeah.
would be true full circle. I would love that.
Interesting. So that's it. That's what we got this week. Baseball is back. The
Baseball
Yankees,
is
except
back.
for today, it got rained out, but they've been on like every day. It's been amazing. So
It's been great.
It's
It rains a lot in
fun to
Florida.
watch.
When it rains, it pours. All right, next week, kids. Peace.
Next week.